Hello, my Facebook, YouTube friends. I like to say something about people who go to District of Social Services or get help because they don't have a job or New York is too expensive to live in or some other reason. So, this is an episode of Ticked Off Too Far, and I'm a little ticked off. I go to DSS to get health insurance because my job doesn't pay enough for me to pay for my home, to pay for my food, to pay for my car insurance, to pay for my phone bill, and to pay insurance. Some months I have to, less food during the month, or be behind on my phone bill for a week, or something stupid so I don't look like the people going to DSS every single week to get free shit. This is what ticks me off. Hardworking Americans that pay taxes need a little help, so they go to the government. They ask for one thing, maybe two, if you need it. And it's like a song and dance to get it. You have to get this, get that, get this, do this. You have to say, oh, you work 20 hours, we need proof of that. But the one guy that barely has a green card can go in there and walk out with 50 free things and nobody bothers him. They don't even let him come back for an interview or a meeting or this and that, this paperwork, that paperwork. Why do Americans have to go through the bullshit and other people don't have to? When did it become that people in America, hardworking class of Americans, have to go through a marathon to get one thing, but the guy that was sitting on the bench the whole time eating ice cream gets to go in there, get 50 things for free, and not have to lift a finger? And he doesn't even speak English. Isn't America built on people speaking English? Yes, I know America was built so freedoms that other countries don't give you, we give you. You don't have to speak English, but it's courteous. But then the Spanish guy that comes here and doesn't speak English expects you to speak Spanish. No, that's not how it works. People came to America. Every single different country, they learned to speak English. That means you should have the common courtesy to speak English too. Yes, some people are nice. I'm nice. I try and learn Spanish. It's hard for me to learn things. I'm not as bright as that guy or the next person in front of me. But I give it a shot. But when I say something wrong, don't take it to offense. Help me. Because I know if you don't know how to speak English, I'll try and help you understand what I'm saying. But what I hate the most is when you can't speak English and you think I don't understand what you're saying and want to talk shit about me behind my back. But then when I bring it up to you, you're like, oh, no, 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 no. Because I'm bigger, you're smaller? No, that's not how it works. I'm the guy that gets pissed off for people talking shit because I don't want to talk shit behind your back. I'll say it to your face. When you go to DSS and you get 50 things for free, go the extra mile. Say, here's this, here's that. If you have a green card, good for you. Don't buy food with the free shit we have to pay our taxes for 9 people of your family that shouldn't even be in this country illegally. Now, don't get me wrong. To become an American is hard work. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. You have to take a test that most Americans today probably could not pass. I give you 100% credit for the people who get their green card by taking a test, by knowing all the presidents, what the Congress is, what this is. I think Americans after high school should take that test and say, if you want to stay in America, you have to know these things. I think every American should know these things. Who was the first president? Who was the fifth president? Who's your favorite president? Now start the list of presidents backwards. People who come to this country that want to get citizenship have to know these things for no reason whatsoever. I mean, nobody's going to come up to you and say, oh, what's all the presidents' names? Otherwise, you have to leave the country. Nobody does that. There's no need for it. Like the school systems that teach you nonsense, and then when you take the test and you pass, you never use that stuff again except for what you learned in elementary school. 1 + 1 = 2. 2 × 2 = 4. 4 divided by 4 = 0. Or 1. I think it's 1. But like I said, I'm not the smartest guy. Back to the point. When Americans go to DSS, shouldn't it be easier, if not as equal to fair as the next guy that barely knows what American culture is about? I think the guy that comes from another country to get in the United States with a green card and wants to build a better life should not be going to the state for free things because he thinks he has rights. Because when he goes to get his free things, he still has to go to the American next to him. Can I have this? Can I borrow this? No, work for it like every other American has to. Oh my God. I go into DSS for health insurance. It takes me 2 months to get health insurance. But the black guy that says, because I'm not white, I'm be treated differently, what do white people have to do? Because I'm not black, you're going to treat me differently? How are you going to say that to another white person? It doesn't make sense. Because I'm not a woman, you're going to treat me differently? No men will say that. That's just bullshit. Do I have to blow my brains out before I could get health insurance? Before someone cares, like, oh, maybe I should have helped this person? This country is going to shit. And it's people, nothing against Spanish people. I have very good friends that are Spanish that came into this country legally, that did the hard work. I have people that came from the Dominican Republic, Uganda, Africa, that are very intelligent, very nice, very hardworking people. But then there's the other people that shouldn't be in this country, that don't do illegal shit. But when they see a cop, they act like they're not supposed to be here. They make it harder for people that came into this country legally. They give them a bad name. When they go to District Social Services, DSS, Public Assistance, New York State, or United States government help, whatever you want to call it. If you go there, there should be a reason that people want to help you. If you have a job, it is hard to live in New York. Don't get me wrong. If you have a job, do what every other American does. Get a second job. If you can't get a second job, go get help from assistance. But be like an American. Grow up like an American. America is not easy to live in. But you came to America to make an easier life, and I'm sure even if you didn't have the help DSS, government assistance, gives you, it's still easier than your other country. I know America's not easy to get into, but you're here. Do it the right way. Don't take shortcuts, because that makes Americans like me get pissed off that you're getting better assistance than the people who pay taxes, than the people that, when they go in a home, live with their families and they're struggling with their children and their spouses, their houses, their cars. But when you come here, you have 12 people in 2-bedroom houses and don't have to worry about one little simple problem. There's multiple Americans around the world that have a hard life, and it makes it no easier that people from other countries come here and say we're lazy. We're lazy because the people from other countries that are legal actually work for a living. The people that are illegal take the jobs that Americans should have. Not the people that are illegal saying, I'll work for $50 less because I know I could get this job and it's more than I make now. Americans should have that job by the legal amount paid for them to live. But you'll have the Spanish from Mexico, Dominican Republic, Uganda, Africa, China, Russia, Asia, it doesn't matter. Come here, take those jobs and say, if you hire me instead of the American that lives here, I'll work for $20 an hour less, which makes Americans like me and the guy that served his country sitting on the side of the street, because the job that he can do because he was wounded and only can do certain jobs is now taken by someone else that said, I could work less because I have 9 other people to pay that rent that I only have to pay $50 a month. And most people can't even live in a home, a 1-bedroom shared in another house with someone they don't even know, for less than $200 a month. You know how hard it is to find something for $50 a week, unless you're in a living room, on a cot, or on the floor with a sleeping bag? Americans, veterans. I don't know how veterans have not came back to the United States, gotten together and gone crazy on everyone. Even Americans today don't treat veterans with the respect they deserve. They fought for the country, whether they volunteered or they had a job. Cops that most people that I know of, 20% of New York, do not like cops. Cops ruin that for themselves, but you show cops respect because you're scared of them. Why do you think cops show veterans respect? They're scared because they know the training they went through. They know if a cop treats them wrong, they don't know if they have PTSD. If they snap, a cop's not going to be able to stop an ex-Marine. A Marine had more training, more fighting. A cop knows how to throw a fist. A Marine knows how to stop it, break your arm, hit your back, and possibly kill you with one hit and one thought in his head, and can do it in less than 10 seconds. Now, if most Americans thought we should treat this person that protected us from other people invading us with more respect, maybe this country wouldn't be better. It would probably be the same. But that veteran that's now on the street, probably ready to kill himself because he fought for a country that barely knows he's there. Do me a favor this Christmas. When you see someone on the street, whether they're in the military or not, and they have a mark, a scar, a missing leg, missing arm, someone that looks homeless, that looks like they need help, give them $1. Go into 7-Eleven, get them a coffee or a tea. Get them a bottle of water. Bring them to Walmart. If you don't trust them, have them wait outside. Ask them what shirt size, what jacket size they are. Go in and buy them a jacket. Go buy them a blanket, a pillow, a sandwich. You go to DSS to get all these things when you know you can afford it, instead of buying the Mercedes and selling drugs, and then go to DSS and get free things and get food stamps and sell them anyways. Why don't you use those food stamps? Why don't you take $20 out of that? Grab something to eat. Give it to the homeless guy that is begging on the side of the streets. Now, I'm not saying go to any homeless guy, because there's a homeless guy that has never served this country, is lazy, and this is the American I'm pissed off at. The Americans that put a bad name in for all Americans, that could be 18 years old, didn't finish high school, didn't go to college, didn't try and find a job, or is lazy because he was living off of mommy and daddy. That's mommy and daddy's fault, because they gave you everything you wanted, and then when you were 21, they said get a job and you didn't know how to get a job. That's your parents' fault. I don't blame you for that, but I blame you for not trying to get a job. Kids that don't know how to work, go to Walmart, they train you. Kids that don't know how to work, go get a landscaping job. You get trained. It's harder work, but it's doable. Go to a car wash. It's simple. You pick up a rag and you dry it. I'm sure you've cleaned a counter. I'm sure you cleaned a dish. I'm sure you washed your car for just the fun of it. Power washing. It's not rocket science. Cleaning windows. It's not rocket science. Get an office job. Sit at a desk. They hand you a piece of paper and say, fill this out, and then go on to the next one and fill that out. Filing. It's not rocket science. This file has this name on it. That paper has that name on it. Match them up. Put them to the side. They give you 1,000 folders a day. If it's your first time on the job and all you got to do is match the name, you should still be able to do 500 pages. It's going to be boring, but it'll teach you responsibility and it'll build character. I was built in a house that if I wanted something, I worked for it. If I borrowed something, I asked my grandfather, can I get this piece of gum? Do you have money, is the question he asked me. I said, I have a piggy bank at home with $1 in it. The gum I wanted costed 35 cents. He said, I'll get it for you, but you got to give me the money back. Now in my head, I'm thinking, he's just kidding. He'll probably not worry about it and say, you know what, keep it. You could do a favor for me later. I went home. The first thing he asked me, I'll give you this gum, go get me the 35 cents. I went, got the 35 cents, gave it to him. I took the gum. He said, thank you. That day forward, I was taught responsibility, honor, integrity, and trust. My grandfather trusted that I had the money. My grandfather trusted that I would give it to him. My grandfather gave me the responsibility that I would do the right thing. And I taught myself that someone did me a favor, I did the same favor back. And just for the extra effort, even though I was young, I knew a piece of gum was just nothing. For the extra effort, I went outside and washed my grandfather's truck. I may not have done a great job, but the effort was there to do something better than I was given. I wanted a cell phone. I got a job. I was 12 years old. I went down the street. I met someone, just moved in, started landscaping, demolition. I learned how to cut down trees. I learned how to do landscaping. I learned how to use a power washer. I learned how to wash a car the right way. I learned how to build things. I was 12 years old. Now, why can't an 18-year-old or someone that can't afford and goes into DSS and gets free things learn how to get a job and be taught that job, or multiple? I'm going to end this very short because this is a very long video to begin with. Americans that are too lazy to work, get a job, stop begging for money. Veterans that are begging on the side of the street, people who can afford it, maybe not afford it, but spare 50 cents, a dollar. Give it. Stop being selfish. Don't worry about putting 50 cents in your change drawer that you'll probably just take out the next day and use it for a pack of cigarettes. That's gonna kill you. I smoke cigarettes. You know what? I would rather give that 50 cents to somebody else that needs it than pay for a habit that's gonna kill me anyways. I'm not saying if a veteran comes up and saying, do you have a cigarette? You say no. What's the cost of a cigarette? $1? Here's a dollar. Save up, get cigarettes, or maybe you'll be smart enough you get yourself a water or something to eat. If you have that person that you give money to every day, God bless you. You deserve every prayer and every blessing that comes to you. It's Christmas time, Hanukkah time. It's the holidays that give. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah. Give, don't take. When you give, don't expect to receive. Because when you do good things come to you. When you do something wrong or think you did something wrong, karma comes into play. And karma, I always say karma is a bitch, because it comes at you when you least expect it and probably when you're already down. You ever have that sibling that always bullied you or said, hey, I got a surprise for you? You're in front of your friends and that surprise was to make you feel bad and make you feel like the type of person you didn't want to be around people. I had people like that and I try to push them out of my life. I'm not a horrible person. I'm not the best person. But I try to better myself every day by helping at least one person or doing a good deed that may not benefit me, but I know it would benefit that person that deserved it. So the next time people that don't deserve it, nor should go into DSS when they can afford it and get every little help they can get by lying, I hope karma comes to that person, not in a very negative, bad way, but I hope they put you in the place where one day you struggle like an American in this country does every day. Let's say you get help for 2 years. I hope 7 years to 8 years of bad luck comes to you. Like you just broke a mirror and karma is a bitch. And when you're down, that 7 years starts. So you never come back up. And when you do, it goes right back down. I have bad luck because I've done bad things in my life. I'm trying to do good. I'm a Catholic. I believe in heaven and hell. I haven't done anything horrible that only my soul will go to hell, but I haven't done enough good where I deserve to go to heaven. But I will try and work on that. And I think Americans today should do the same. Work on yourself. And if you like yourself, help someone else to be just as good as you or as you think you can be as good as them. They're not begging. They just have nothing else to live for. Give them something to live for. The people that go to DSS, like my point, if you can afford it and you go to DSS to try and get help for no reason, that help that you are offered and get for free, give it to the veteran that has nothing. And the reason he can't go to DSS is because he was a veteran. Veterans go to the VA, and the VA is failing because the people in America are not paying their taxes as much as they should be, because the guy that told them they'll work for $15 less are now working off the books. And that American that should have been working there would have been working on the books to pay taxes and make this economy better, so the veterans that are on the street are helped as well. That's what ticks me off. People who don't think about the consequences that can happen to the Americans that actually did something for this country. Everyone that deserves and doesn't deserve, have the best holiday you can. Many blessings, many prayers. I'm the type of person that, whether you're bad or good, still deserve to have a good holiday for your family. Whether you are an asshole or not, your family doesn't deserve to be in ruins. Maybe you do, but I'm not judging. I love all. Be the best you can be. Prayers, love, blessings go out to all. Merry Christmas and happy holidays.